if that doesn't get you fired up for lacrosse on a Saturday evening under the lights, I'm not really sure what will. Sam Graham here live from Lynchburg, Virginia, more specifically on Shellenberger Field, getting ready for another Division III men's lacrosse game, this time between your Lynchburg Hornets and the visiting Maroons of Roanoke. We've got an old-fashioned battle here, offense versus defense. For Roanoke, a top 15 offense in the nation when it comes to efficiency, and more specifically, top 4 in the country in total team offense. That is goals per game. And on the other side, Lynchburg, 9th in the country in defensive efficiency. Should be a fantastic battle down below me. National anthem getting set and underway, and when we come back from this short commercial break, we will have face-off for you right here on LHSN. All right, starters being announced down on the field now for the home Hornets. Obviously gave the preview for this game in the opening of our broadcast. Failed to mention your Lynchburg Hornets 4-0 in ODAC play, nursing what has now become a pretty lengthy regular season and conference tournament winning streak against ODAC opponents. But on the other side, Roanoke also entering this one, same record, 8-4. 4-0 in ODAC play. Something's got to give on a beautiful, albeit slightly chilly, April evening in Lynchburg, Virginia, down on Shellenberger Field. Mentioned a lot in the outset of this broadcast. A lot of the focus will be on the Lynchburg defense, but can certainly make an argument that there's a heightened focus on the offense for the Hornets as well, and by no means has that unit been shabby this year. It's relied a lot more on younger talent than it has in years past, something that Coach Kudelka's talked about at length several times this season. Obviously makes him excited for the future, and what it's really led to this year is a very balanced attack offensively, and of course Dylan Wolf still out nursing that injury. He will not be available tonight. That certainly put a dent in the offensive firepower for the Hornets, but there is plenty of offense to go around, and they're going to need every ounce of it tonight to keep up with a Maroons team. Comes in tonight averaging 17.9 goals per game. Again, that is good for 4th in all of Division III. And coming into tonight, obviously Roanoke 5-game winning streak. If you look at the last 4 games on their own, that's about 24 goals per game for these Maroons. 3 of those games have been conference tilts. The last one, actually the last game for each of these 2 teams, a game against Shenandoah. Obviously both teams coming out on the winning end of that one. So as our teams gather here at midfield, speak to the officials, we're about set for the opening face-off and ready to get this game underway. It should be a doozy. Lynchburg looking for its 6th straight win in the series that's still controlled by Roanoke, 36-19. This, the 56th all-time meeting between a pair of rivals separated by just about an hour. And you can rest assured both of these 2 teams fired up for tonight's contest. So we get ready for the opening face-off. For Lynchburg, it'll be number 56, Michael Kraus. Interesting dynamic, our opening face-off here tonight. Michael Kraus on the left side, the west, if you will. He hails from Oregon. And on the other side, Brooks Cliver from Roanoke, a Connecticut native. So a little bit of a geographical tilt there in the face-off circle. And the first possession of the game will be awarded to Roanoke. They will set up offensively. It's Ethan Caldwell with it now. He sets the screen after passing back to Wyatt Whitlow. Certainly an offensive focal point for this Roanoke unit. but we will get our first turnover of the game. That's a great start for the Lynchburg defense and Chris Darminio, awarding possession right back over to the Hornets, who will look to clear. So we'll get a dodge there from number 3 in White. Leads all field players for Lynchburg, 60 ground balls on the season. That his 14th caused turnover of the year as well for the All-American. Now getting our first looks, both the Lynchburg offense and the Roanoke defense. Spencer Vandenberg with it right now as Lynchburg works around before setting up this possession. But before they're able to do so, we'll get a pickoff right along the goal line by Weston Hammond for the Maroons, as they're able to clear and will set up their second offensive possession, although Darminio making it tough just a little ways past midfield for Aiden Sullivan. So we will not get the official second possession of the game for Roanoke, and a quick start to this one, all eyes on the defensive side of the field. Caused turnover and a pair of ground balls for the senior Darminio has been the highlight of this one so far. Lynchburg offense once again working patiently. There's Schmidt, second on the team in goals. That shot is off the mark. In the pass, they tried to thread it through to Grant Voigt. Gets away from him. Will be scooped up there by Schmidt, and we'll get a reset now for Lynchburg. Back up top there for Mitchell. Now Voigt looking for the shot. He'll go along the goal line to Hastings, who's got the upper 90 left corner, and Lynchburg strikes first. Riley Hastings. Talk about young offensive weapons for this Lynchburg unit. He's been fantastic all season long, not just piling up goals, but he has scored some pretty crafty ones as well. That one, a beautiful shot right to the upper corner. About 3 minutes into this game, we have our first goal, though it will not be the Maroons. Lynchburg scoring first, and Michael Kraus wins the faceoff, so great sequence of events there for Coach Kudelka's squad. It's Hastings' 16th goal of the season to pair with a team-high 22 assists. Meanwhile, Riley Mitchell mentioned he's got some range. Scored a goal earlier in the year against Stevenson from about the N in the Lynchburg logo at midfield. He was looking for another highlight reel goal there, just goes a little high. We will get the reset here for Lynchburg. Two-man action between Hastings and Schmidt. Schmidt gets the spin, gets in close. Going to be pretty hard to stop Finn Schmidt when he gets in that close to the goal. And it is a very quick 1-2 punch that puts Lynchburg ahead 2-0. Take a look at it again. Coming across from the goal line, you get that low spin action. Then it's one-on-one between Schmidt and the goalie. Fewer for Roanoke. Advantage to the offensive player pretty much every time in that situation. Schmidt makes the most of it. Though Cliver is able to award possession, he's going to take his 8th shot of the season, and it will sail wide. Lynchburg and Chip Quinn the closest to it. So a very quick one and done for the Maroon offense on that possession. Just one goal on the season for Roanoke's Fogo and Brooks Cliver. But again, mentioned that's his 8th shot, so nearly every game he's taken at least one crack coming out of the circle. More often than not, he's been unsuccessful. That rings true again on that one. Here's Mitchell, gets in close again, and Voigt goes with the low shot, but it's off to the left. Hastings scoops it up, and the Lynchburg possession will continue. Roughly 40 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Schmidt. He lines up another one. Good play there by Fewer. Looks like he got a piece of it with his stick and bounces it clear of the net towards the outside where it is picked up by Vandenberg. Boy, has he been on a tear lately. 10 goals over the last 3 contests for the freshman. Not only that, hat-trick in each of those 3 contests. Now get a low scooping shot. Rebound by Voigt will find the back of the net. Quickly, not even 5 minutes into this contest, it is the Lynchburg offense that is looking pretty efficient. Take a look at it again. You see Hastings wrap around. The first shot from Rust off the post, scooped up by Voigt. And number 2 puts the Hornets up 3-0. And will take the first time out of the game from Roanoke. We will take it with them. Step aside for just a few moments, but don't go anywhere. We're just heating up here on LHSN. Quick start for the Lynchburg offense. 3 goals in just 5 minutes here. First quarter of action between Lynchburg and Roanoke. It's a Lynchburg team that has not had any trouble getting out to quick starts. And take a look at their goal disparity between the first and second halves on the season. 99 first half goals coming into today. So make that 102 now to just 59 in the second. Specifically the third quarter, a spot where the Hornets have struggled. Just 23 goals on the year. Kraus and Cliver in the face-off circle. We're going to get a tackle, and flags will fly. Now we'll get the whistle. Looks like a face-off violation. And will earn Michael Kraus, it appears, a trip to the box. So the infraction will be against him, levying that hit at midfield. Take a look at it again right there. See Brooks Cliver not a fan of that one. And we're going to get the first man-up opportunity of the game for Roanoke. Again, a team averaging just south of 18 goals a game. You don't want to make anything easier for them. Obviously very far away from the goal, being in the face-off circle. That's not a penalty that you really want to give up if you're Lynchburg, though you do like Krause's effort there in the circle. That's what's earned him so much success, including All-American status last year. Hornets will be able to avoid giving up the man-down goal on that possession. Having a little bit of trouble clearing here is Cole Nestor. Pass mishandled. Top of your screen. Now they'll work back to the low side. That is McCarthy. He gets the dodge. Now the long pass looking for Schmidt will be intercepted by Roanoke. Interesting decision there by McCarthy. Taking a bit of a gamble throwing that long pass to a heavily guarded Finn Schmidt. that nearly would have awarded a second opportunity in the man up for Roanoke. But they turn it over yet again as the Lynchburg defense continues to live up to the billing and shine through this first quarter. So in the process, man-up opportunity has expired for Roanoke. It's back to even numbers here as we set up this Lynchburg offensive possession. 3 goals under their belt already. Hastings looking for another assist, trying to work it into the middle of the field. Looks like to Connor Moore. Wasn't able to get it there. And Roanoke is able to claim possession there back behind the goal. Roanoke clear, goes ahead to Quinn Evans. Now Roanoke finally able to set up what they hope to be a quality offensive possession. It's been a slow start, about midway through this first quarter, still with a goose egg in the score column. They will look to change that here. Working up high, close defense there from Darminio is Evans with the ball. He'll flip to Albertson. He'll look for space. Lynchburg in zone, and it's still Darminio manning the top. They'll try from across the goal. That's good job regaining his feet there from Julian Kammerman. But it will not be fruitful for the Maroons offense as Lynchburg looks to work it ahead. Another tricky pass. There's a behind-the-back toss there from Hastings, who's got some of the best stick skills on the field for Lynchburg. He's got great touch, extremely athletic, and very high-caliber recruit for Coach Kudelka's squad. Russ thought about the shot. He'll pass off to Schmidt instead, who will look for the spin. Great defense there from DJ Nolan. And a slight reset from the Lynchburg offense as they work things back around. Schmidt to the inside. It's a bounce shot from Voigt. Bounces too high as he was looking for his second goal of the game. It's now 23 seconds on the shot clock. We will get another crack at it on this Lynchburg possession. It's Hastings to the inside. What an easy shot there from Jake Rust. And it is 4 different Hornets scoring in the early going here. That'll make it 4-0 Lynchburg, and another assist to the tally of Riley Hastings. Take a look at it again. Soft pass from Hastings and Rust. Another easy goal in close for Lynchburg, and even on the possessions that they have been unable to score, certainly looking to get things into the middle of this Roanoke defense, set things up as close to the goal as possible, and more often than not, they've been pretty successful. Play comes in from the Lynchburg sideline. It's a pretty steady crowd is amassed on Dr. Jack M. Tom's track now for this ODAC battle. Easter weekend. Roanoke comes up with the defensive stop on that possession. Will take their time in trying to clear this one ahead. They've had a little bit of trouble with the turnover bug and some carelessness in the early going of this one, both forced and unforced errors. I want to make sure they're sure-handed here, and they are able to eventually advance it. It's Caldwell with it as he passes out to Luke Kammerman. Recently scored his 200th career goal in that game against Shenandoah. As Tyler Hadley comes up with a big save there. That'll be his first one of the game and connects on the pass to the top of the screen. It's R.J. Barnes who scored career goal number 1 for the Hornets in their battle with Shenandoah, though he will turn it over. Roanoke going to look to move quickly, try and set something up. Good job, Lynchburg defense trying to get back, but they are unable to fill every gap as number 50, Ethan Caldwell, will finally get Roanoke on the board with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Take a look at it again. Roanoke initially looked like they wanted to look really fast, then kind of showed like they were going to slow things down. Caldwell steps up into the center of the field, gets a pretty good look at it. From medium range, he's able to connect with his 11th goal of the season, and Roanoke is on the board. Now I'll have some numbers again for Roanoke. They'll look to make it 2. That shot is wide off the stick of Julian Kammerman. Another quick possession for Roanoke. Lynchburg's able to get away unscathed. Coach Kudelka pretty hot after Lynchburg finally allowed that first goal. Of course, it had to happen at some point, but I'm sure coming off yet another turnover that allowed sort of that fast break opportunity to arise for Roanoke, not what he had in mind. Each of these two teams, 5 turnovers through the first 11 or so minutes. Here's Rust, second shot, second score. Jake Rust has goal number 5 for Lynchburg in the opening period as the offense continues to cook on the right side of the field. Assist there will go to Voigt, his second point of the evening. Lynchburg not getting much resistance from this Roanoke defense so far. Fewer has stepped up and made 2 saves for Roanoke, but again, facing 7 shots, that percentage not where he would like it to be. And at some point, got to figure he's back there hoping to get some help from his offense. It's one of the top units in the country. Shot set up. Will go high there by Albertson. Sends it right back to Lynchburg. Quick offensive possessions for the Maroons. Maybe leaving a little to be desired for Coach Palat's squad. On the other side, Lynchburg has been extremely methodical. As a result, they've gotten pretty much everything they have wanted on that end of the field. Here's Mitchell. He'll officially set things in motion. Voigt swings to Russ. Same spot, different result. Fewer's able to trap it just outside of the goal. A little bit of excitement there as Vandenberg comes up and pokes it away. Now he'll show some full field pressure. Hastings will do the same with a little chop before Roanoke advances it past midfield, clearing through DJ Nolan. Roanoke gets the stop there now with 2:04 to go in this first quarter. See if they can put another goal on the board. It's Caldwell with it now. He works along behind the goal. Now around the world for Roanoke. Goad. He'll swing around, a little collision in front of the goal. It's Jeremy Johnson applying the pressure there from Lynchburg. The shot from Roanoke off the mark from Luke Kammerman. Mentioned getting his 200th career point against Shenandoah. That was part of a week-long effort that earned him last week's ODAC Offensive Player of the Week award. Scooping shot will come off the stick of his brother, Julian Cameraman. That one is no good. So a tough start to the day, especially for the younger cameraman, Julian. He's just a freshman. That may be a microcosm for the broader offensive struggles of Roanoke as a whole. It's now Lynchburg can hold for the final possession should they like to. Less than 45 seconds to go. Connor Moore swings to Ian McCarthy. Play comes in from the Lynchburg sideline. We will see what we get now with 30 seconds to go in the first. Lynchburg trying to open up a 5-goal lead. Here's Schmidt. Roanoke forces him to his left. Good collision on the screen. He'll pass out Vandenberg, now behind the goal to Hastings. Hastings looking to go inside. Battle for the ball. It will be awarded to Roanoke. Just 12 seconds, though. See how much pressure Lynchburg provides. Now under 10. A little bit of free space to work now for Roanoke, as they will look to set up a shot at Sean Kennedy with it. And they will not get one off, never even really looked to after that initial sizing up from Kennedy. So we have hit the end of the first quarter. We'll get a 2-minute break, and we will take it with them by telling you our score. Lynchburg 5, Roanoke 1.
Living the dream. USA, Mexico. I was so excited.
If you like being close with your professors, if you like being in small classes that help with one-on-one, if you like being in positive communities that help you train your weak points and strengthen your strong points, then the University of Lynchburg is a great place to go. You can never go wrong with the amount of help that they offer, the amount of self-sacrifice that other people will put in for you. It has a beautiful campus, it has dedicated teachers, it has nice students, it has fun activities, and it has plenty of things to do.
Lynchburg came out of the huddle pretty quickly there in our break between the first and second quarters. Can't imagine Coach Kudelka had a whole lot to encourage his team to do better. That was an excellent first quarter of action. Roanoke on the other side. A little bit more to talk about, as their touted offense has not quite been where they've wanted it to be. And on the defensive side, certainly a lot to be desired as they give up 5 goals through that first period. We mentioned Lynchburg, as we go down to the faceoff circle, has not had trouble getting off to fast starts. This is certainly another example of that. But the second quarter, arguably sometimes even more fruitful for the Hornets, 55 goals on the year. And they're coming off a game against Shenandoah in which they scored their most goals of the season in a single quarter. That was 10. And it, of course, did happen in that second period. So if Lynchburg can come up with anything even close to that level of success here, Coach Kudelka and that Lynchburg sideline will be a very happy man and a very happy group. But it is Roanoke that will get the first offensive look. Tyler Hadley really could not look much more calm than he did stepping up and making that save. Positioned himself right where he needed to be, and Lynchburg's made a lot of those close shots look really easy, but Tyler Hadley denies the Maroons there on their first trip to the offensive side. Now Mitchell. No defender on him. He lines one up. That was a bullet, but it will go right of the goal. As Vandenberg scoops it up, Lynchburg will try again. Mentioned in the first, Lynchburg's been pretty methodical with their offensive possessions. That's been a stark contrast to the Roanoke side of things. But if you're Riley Mitchell, you know you have that sort of range. Opportunity like that presents itself, might as well step into it and take a shot. Here's Hastings to Voigt. Basically a touch shot there from Grant Voigt. It barely, the ball that is, made its way into the pocket of his stick before he let it go, and Fewer's able to come up and make the save. Tough first quarter there between the posts for Alex Fewer for Roanoke, who's had a great season so far as a whole. That Shenandoah game going down as his 6th win in goal of the year, taking over that duty from Taylor Lewis, who has a pair of wins on the year himself. He started the season for Roanoke, and he is the last goalie that Lynchburg faced. Have to go back to last year's ODAC semifinal game for that matchup, as Hadley in the other goal steps up and makes a save on consecutive possessions. But again, Fewer, he's been pretty fantastic between the posts this year. 83 saves and just shy of 60% save percentage. So a flag will fly there. Mitchell trying to create some space. Imagine that will probably go against Roanoke, but we'll wait to see the play unfold before we get that decision from the official. It'll be a Rust low shot. Fewer steps up to make the save, and our whistle will blow. We'll see what the flag was about. So the penalty will be assessed to Roanoke. Looks like it is offsides. We will resume play here with this Lynchburg offensive possession. About 50 seconds on the shot clock, 11:45 on the game clock. Lynchburg back into the top 10 this week. They will get goal number 6 there. That draws a big applause from the sideline. It's Charlie Evans. Picks up his 9th goal of the season, one of the more efficient scorers on this Lynchburg offense. 40% shot percentage on the year. And he just calmly steps into that one as soon as the window opened. Coming there off the wing. Charlie Evans and this Lynchburg offense are cooking here. Not showing any signs of slowing down in the second quarter. Now Michael Kraus, one faceoff. He's going to try to keep that going. Darminio, long stick midi, will step up into the offensive half here for Lynchburg. So the Hornets looking to make a statement. Not even just on the offensive side of the ball, arguably just as much, if not more so, on the defensive side. Mentioned they moved into the top 10 coming off a loss to Christopher Newport, as well as a blowout home win over Randolph. That moved the Hornets from 11th to 10th. Looking to try and move up a little more this week. Fewer steps up and saves that shot from McCarthy. Now a battle for it. Ground ball scooped up and moving quickly. Here comes Roanoke. They want to try and create a little bit of momentum. It's Conti that scooped up the ground ball and clears it for Roanoke. Currently moving with a purpose. There's Cameraman. He works off a screen, doesn't get what he likes, passes off. And the leading assist man was looking for another one there, but it will not come to fruition as Conti moved into the middle of the Lynchburg defense, but his shot is off the mark. So things continue to go smoothly for the Lynchburg defense. Tyler Hadley only seeing 3 shots come his way so far. He's saved 2 of them. Credit to this Lynchburg defense keeping him clean. Hastings there was looking to go into the middle with Voigt. That's about the 3rd or 4th time Lynchburg has tried to set one up. Inside for Voigt. He was successful on one in the first quarter, but on a pair of tries in this period, he's been unsuccessful. Tough time clearing it now for Roanoke. Chris Darminio making it even tougher, and it will lead to another Roanoke turnover. Errant pass, well off the mark. And the Maroons never even get a chance to set up a true offensive possession there. Nothing going their way throughout the first half of this contest. Schmidt works along the goal line, passes out to Hastings, who swings to Mitchell. Voigt skips to his right. Doesn't get the opening he was looking for, and he'll swap places there with Hastings, who may come down to make a screen. He will do so. Voigt does not wrap, goes back to Hastings. Tried to set something up for Vandenberg in close. Hastings trying to spin away from his defender. Good defense there from Roanoke. Schmidt tries to spin as well. His shot obstructed there by Fewer, who was not able to pick it up initially. And Schmidt tried to soar in and scoop up his own rebound, but Fewer does get his stick back on top of it before Schmidt can get there and award Roanoke another offensive set. Nestor is the defender for Lynchburg. Playing up close, applying a little pressure. Here's a shot once again, stopped there by Hadley. Shot from Noah Goed. Here's Lynchburg defensively, still sticking with that zone, trying to sanction off the middle of the field. Roanoke does not use it and will get their second goal of the contest from Julian Kammerman. The younger Kammerman brother cuts the deficit to 4. Excuse me, it's Noah Goed. Misspoke on the goal scorer. So Goed picks up the goal there for the Maroons, but the sentiment remains the same. Deficit is shrunk to just 4 about midway through this second period. And the faceoff will be run. Well, looked initially like it would be won. Now officially is taken by the Maroons. So a chance to create something in the way of momentum. They looked for something quick coming off the face-off win. They'll pull back up top and reset. Spin there, losing his footing is Kammerman. Passes out to his brother, gets the ball back as he works against Cole Zacharias for Lynchburg. Defense switches, it's Chip Quinn there, and Tyler Hadley gets in the way of another shot from Matthew Albertson. That's the second shot of the game there from number 51 for the Maroons. Now the ball awarded there by the officials back to Roanoke. They want to go quickly. That pass off the mark looks like from Brooks Cliver. Pardon me, that's Dominic Cuomo. Nevertheless, Lynchburg comes away with another turnover and can set up once more offensively. Trying to get a break on his defender there is Gabe Menchaca. He'll pass out. Now it's Moore. Moore gets some space, loses his defender momentarily. Another Maroon steps up to fill the gap. That was R.T. Williamson out of Charlotte, North Carolina, stepping up to cut off what would have been a pretty open look at the goal. Credit to him, but Lynchburg will retain possession coming off the Menchaca attempt. It's Hastings being guarded closely from behind the goal. Roanoke knows he can be dangerous from back there. He's done so already today. He tries to work it to Vandenberg, but it's picked off here by Roanoke. Again, they still trail 6-2, trying to pull off a road upset here. In a tough spot right now, but certainly not out of it. When you coast down a Roanoke offensive unit, as we will get a timeout. Be called by the Lynchburg sideline. We'll stay here. But again, looking down that Roanoke offensive unit, you've got guys like Wyatt Whitlow. Again, both of the Cammermans, particularly the elder Luke. Luke Cammerman, again, just scoring his 200th career point. Reigning ODAC Offensive Player of the Week, 33 goals on the year. Whitlow's got an Offensive Player of the Week nod to his name this season as well. And there's double-digit goal scorers really all down the line for this Roanoke squad. I mean, Cammerman, Whitlow highlight the group, but Julian Cammerman, Luca Docking, Noah Goad, who scored earlier this period. And the list goes on for Roanoke. They've just got to figure out who's going to have the hot hand on this particular evening. And as of yet, they have not found it. But again, time, not a problem whatsoever. Like I mentioned earlier, it's the Lynchburg team that's been stronger in first halves than seconds. And you do have to commend the Roanoke defense. They've only let up one goal so far in this quarter. So we're knotted at a 1-1 decision for this set of 15 minutes. And Roanoke could take a slight advantage in the second period if they're able to draw something up here. And coming out of the timeout, you hope that they are able to at least get a good look at things, even if the ultimate connection's not there. The possession will start with Cammerman as he is guarded closely by Henry Merendon. That shot will come off from Goad, looking for his second. Chip Quinn the closest to it. And again, that possession turns sour with not even 30 seconds gone by for Roanoke. You wonder if at any point they'll start to pass off some of these good shots for great ones. A phrase you hear all the time in basketball holds true to lacrosse as well. It seems like some great shots are what this Roanoke team needs. You only get so many going up against this Lynchburg D, but you do wonder if you're a Roanoke fan, if they're finding as many as they possibly can. Fewer's been big in this second period. He steps up and stops another shot there. Had to be really careful, a little bit of surgical precision close to the goal line. It's not the first time tonight that Fewer stopped the initial target, but not trapped the ball in his stick and had to turn back around and locate it before a Hornet's able to scoop it up and take another try. There's Cammerman to Cammerman. Now a rolling pass, interesting decision as Cole Zacharias tried to step in the way and scoop that one up, award another Lynchburg offensive possession, potentially with some numbers. Couldn't quite track it down. Again, really interesting decision to opt for the rolling pass there from Roanoke. They're able to avoid any trouble there, but the shot from Albertson, his third of the contest, is tracked down once more by Tyler Hadley, who steps up and makes now his 6th save. Mentioned the credit for fewer in between the posts on the Roanoke side. His offense has forced Hadley to come up and make some plays. Now 6 saves, all of them coming in this second quarter. If you're unable to stop that shot, it's going to be goal number 7 of the evening and the first for Riley Mitchell. It's only a matter of time between number 1 got himself on the board in this one, and it extends the Lynchburg lead back to 5 with just 2:11 remaining before we hit the half in this ODAC rivalry game. Riley Mitchell, the leading goal scorer for the Hornets. He's an All-American. That's his 20th goal of the season. We will get another timeout, our second of this second quarter. This time we will step aside with them before we come back for the final 1:59 of a first half that has been almost completely controlled by the Hornets, protecting home field and looking to extend their win streak to 2.
Today's a rough day. Jess and I are officially on a break. The couple canoe has broken up.
How you feeling? Living the dream.
Just canoeing. That's the Mexican side behind me. The U.S. is that way.
So far, we're all still alive.
I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Woo! We did it! Kind of.
Lynchburg keeping Roanoke at bay through almost this entire first half. The Maroons desperately searching for a little more offense before we hit the break. Not going to get it on this possession. Another turnover, and Lynchburg trying to create some numbers for itself. Get out in the fast break. Hastings slows things down momentarily, flips over to Cole Nestor. Now battle for the ball there was initially poked away by Roanoke, scooped up by Nestor. He'll swing out way wide of the goal. We'll get some substitutions in for Lynchburg. Ian McCarthy will jog on. And now moving back up is Gabe Menchaca. Connor Moore will jog on as well. Some of the Lynchburg offensive stalwarts getting a little bit of a breather here. Schmidt and Hastings, as well as Vandenberg, all remain on the field. Voigt and Mitchell both getting a little bit of a spell. It's a pretty typical rotational pattern for Coach K's squad. They will certainly be searching for one more goal before the first half expires, try to enter the half with a 6-goal lead. Here's Moore, 25 seconds on the clock. That pass will get away from the stick of Finn Schmidt. It'll be tracked down and kept in the Lynchburg attacking half. by Chip Quinn, but the ball will squeeze its way through. And now a fast break opportunity for Roanoke, looking to convert, and they will. Diving shot from Julian Kammerman gives a big boost to Roanoke before we hit the half. A goal with just 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Opportunistic offense there from Roanoke to try and apply a little bit of pressure to Lynchburg before we reach intermission. Fifteenth goal of the season for the younger Julian Kammerman. His freshman campaign is off to a great start. Roanoke offense at large, not off to as great of a start in that first half, but they keep themselves within range with that late half goal. We will step aside here for just a few moments before we return to get you stats, numbers, and a few highlights from that first half of action. And again, just about 10 minutes away from half number 2 between Roanoke and Lynchburg.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Never think that your donation is in vain, because you're helping out hundreds of students that are just like me, who need a shot and who are getting one. Without donations, without you individuals that are helping to donate to the university and the Lynchburg Fund, there would be no student body president, Davion Washington. There'd probably be I'm stuck at home, Davion Washington. Not only is your donation building leaders, but it's building leaders like myself and others that will hopefully want to pay it forward one day and do the same thing. I know for a fact that, when I have it, because I will, I want to give back to this university that provided me a home for 4 years.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here. And I've learned that over my 4 years, is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone, helping them achieve their first goal of, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they wanting to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool. But regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
We have hit the half here in Lynchburg, Virginia, as a beautiful sunset has taken shape here behind the Westover dorms. And again, you see your score there. The home Hornets leading this one 7-3. He mentioned extensively the highly touted Roanoke offense. Just 3 goals in that first half. That's obviously due in large part to the equally proficient Lynchburg defense. Take a look there at that sunset. Oh, man, they are just the best here in Lynchburg, Virginia. But while we have your attention, we'll take a look at a couple important numbers from that first half of action now with 30 minutes in the books. And we mentioned the Lynchburg defense. One thing I really want to direct your attention to is shots. Roanoke on the year averaging 54 shots per game, actually just north of that. They're on pace for only 34 in the contest right now. And although they did outshoot the Hornets 10-9 in the second quarter, Lynchburg holds the overall advantage. And again, just 17 bites at the apple there for Roanoke. Faceoffs, you see their 6-6 have been very even. And Roanoke, although they got in a little bit of turnover trouble early, it's actually Lynchburg that hits the half with more giveaways than the Maroons. Lynchburg, though, clearing at a slightly more efficient rate. Now, we mentioned that defense. We'll take a look at a few of those big defensive plays from the first half. Again, Tyler Hadley came up and made a couple big saves between the posts. He had 6 as we've hit the half, and fantastic year for Hadley so far. 4 ODAC Defensive Player of the Week awards. But you look, too, at the caused turnovers. Chris Darminio forced one very early into this contest. And, again, only 17 shots faced here for Hadley in goal. So credit to the Lynchburg defense keeping him relatively clean. So, again, as we here just about a little over 3 minutes before we resume action in the second half, we will run through some of the individual numbers. First on Roanoke's side for Alex Foyer in goal. It's 8 saves on 15 shots faced, so about a 53% save percentage. He really shored things up there in the second quarter, holding Lynchburg to just 2 goals. And on the offensive side, Noah Goad, Julian Kammerman, and Ethan Caldwell with a goal apiece. Kammerman with the big one just before we hit the half. On Lynchburg's side, mentioned Tyler Hadley's 6 saves on 9 shots faced. That's a 67% save percentage. And Jake Russ leads the way with 2 goals. 2 points as well for each Grant Voigt, Riley Hastings, Finn Schmidt. All 3 of those Lynchburg players with a goal and an assist. And Riley Mitchell and Charlie Evans round out the scoring for the Hornets. We will take one more little break before we get things underway here in the second half of action. Again, Roanoke cutting the lead to 4 just before the half, but it's been all Lynchburg offense for the most part so far.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
Alrighty, second half on tap here from Shellenberger Field. Take a look at a Roanoke team. Coaches getting in their last words of wisdom before we kick off this third quarter. And they want to pull off this road upset. The Maroons going to have to capture lightning in a bottle in this second half and get things going on the offensive side of the ball. Defense stepped up in that second quarter, limited a very hot Lynchburg offense in the first quarter to just 2 in the second. That's going to have to continue, but once again, going to have to get a little bit more involvement from guys like Wyatt Whitlow and Luke Kammerman on the offensive side. Those are a pair of guys that combined for 10 goals last time out against Shenandoah. Neither one has scored so far today. Also worth noting, Roanoke has only failed to score 10 or more once this season. That was in a relatively early season matchup, March 7th against Franklin and Marshall. That was a 14-9 loss for the visitors. But since then, 6 straight games with 10 or more, and in 3 of their past 4, getting over the 20-point barrier. It might not take that much offense to win this game, but I will certainly take more than the 3 Roanoke has right now. Here's Michael Kraus after winning the faceoff, looking to maybe get a shot off. Kraus scored his first career goal for Lynchburg against Roanoke in their meeting last season. He'll hit the turf there on the dodge from Roanoke's Jay Fry. So a great start here for Roanoke. They lose the faceoff but get the stop defensively. They're able to stuff Michael Kraus before he can even set up a shot. And very quickly they will set things up on offense. Less than a minute gone by in this third quarter. Shot there off the mark. Believe that will go down as a save for Hadley. Now getting mobbed there, trying to scoop up the ground ball. Now it's a battle for it. And emerging is Lynchburg. And now clearing is Lynchburg. And who else there but Tyler Hadley? He's going to set up a shot, but it goes a little high. I believe that would have sent the Lynchburg bench area into a frenzy, and rightfully so. It's Tyler Hadley during that battle for the ground ball finally says, well, I'll just scoop this up and I'll go coast to coast, take a crack at it myself. He's just off the mark. Play comes in from the sideline here. Offensive possession number 2 for the Hornets. Trying to heat things back up on offense. Schmidt draws his defender way out wide from the goal, frees himself up, goes Russ behind. He looks for the center of the field. Mitchell takes it on the wing. Ball's going to be poked away. Possession remains with Lynchburg. Credit defensively there to John Diaz. Now it's Voigt with it. Diaz a moment ago there. 5 ground balls and a pair of caused turnovers against Shenandoah. Good outing for him on the defensive side. That pass off the mark looking for Mitchell. Ball squeezes through everybody. Will be taken there by Roanoke. Lynchburg's going to be able to jog on defenders to get rid of that slight Roanoke advantage. Roanoke's going to still try to set up something quickly, and they do. Shot from Anthony Muniz. It's off the mark. Roanoke going to try again. Diving shot. Penalty flag will fly. The goal believe the goal did score, but I think it may be will be a penalty against Lynchburg. We'll take a look at it again. So here's the shot. Penalty will go against number 25. The goal does score there. But it looks like waved off And instead, it's going to be a trip to the penalties box for Jeremy Johnson. They'll get him for the push in the back. It won't be a extended stay in the box there for Johnson. Defender for Lynchburg plays with a lot of hustle and toughness. But it's going to be the second man-up opportunity of the game for Roanoke. They're going to look to make the most out of it, but they're going to have to work relatively quickly. I'm sure if you asked Coach Pilot, he probably would have preferred just keeping the goal on that last possession, but they will take a shot here. Once again, bounces off the turf and over the goal. No good there is Wyatt Whitlow searching for his first goal of the contest. Godin Cameraman, two-man action. No-look pass into the middle, and Whitlow, just seconds later, will get his first goal of today's game, the leading scorer for this Roanoke squad. Suddenly now just a 3-point game. Back-to-back goals between the second and third quarters as the Roanoke defense continues to make things tough for Lynchburg, and now the offense starting to find a little momentum. How about turn, fire, score there from Wyatt Whitlow. Nice little assist there from Luke Cameraman as well. That is a dynamic duo if ever you've seen one. Cameraman, team leader in assists. That is 27th. Lynchburg trying to answer quickly is Mitchell. Another interesting stat between these two Cameraman brothers, Luke and Julian. They combined to make up over 40% of the total team assists for Roanoke. Coming into today, 26 for Luke, 21 for Julian of the team's total 117. That percentage goes up a little bit on that last dish from the older. Rust. Tough shot there, defender in his face. A little wrapping score. Not too far away from the goal. He's got a hat trick here. Less than 5 minutes gone by in the third. You see very good defense right up close. Can't play it much better than that, but Russ just calmly shakes it off. Wraps around his defender for the goal and pushes Lynchburg back ahead by 4. Tough battle there in the face-off circle. Going to be pushed back towards the Lynchburg defensive half. Will be awarded to the Hornets. That's Cole Nestor with it now, top of the screen. He'll work off to Connor Moore. They'll trade positions. And Lynchburg will look to make it back-to-back goals. Menchaca tries to get a screen. Does not quite work. Still one-on-one with his defender. Here's Moore as Lynchburg tries to stack more and more guys in the interior of this Roanoke defense. Having a little bit of trouble doing so. Now McCarthy trying to come off the edge. He's cut off. Quick double team there from Roanoke. He'll try to work the opposite side. Now a spin. Double team comes over again, but that frees up Moore on the outside. He's unable to get a shot off, and Roanoke will get out of that possession without much trouble. Good job on multiple occasions, stepping up and cutting off the seams there for the Lynchburg offense. He's never able to get a shot off. Roanoke trying to get one of their own, and they will. Lynchburg's last goal will not turn into a run, as instead Wyatt Whitlow keeping Roanoke alive in this game. His second of the second half. And we mentioned at the break, if you're Roanoke, you want to see more out of Whitlow and Cameraman. Those are your two leading goal scorers, your two leaders offensively on this team. Whitlow rising to the occasion, first with the assisted goal from Cameraman. That one unassisted. Whitlow does it himself. And now we get the caused turnover. Roanoke trying to create some momentum. Shot this time will go wide left, stays with Roanoke. You can feel the energy start to shift a little bit. Roanoke starting to find some success on both ends of the field. It's Caldwell with it now. He'll set the offense in motion. Works off a screen from Julian Cameraman. Cameraman stutter step. Now goes to his right, working against Nestor. Nowhere to go. Passes off. Whitlow tries for the single quarter hat trick. Goes wide right. It's now Luke Cameraman on the reset. 55 on the shot clock. No worries there. Cameraman trying the quick wrap. Doesn't have it. Pass back out. Top of the key. We'll go the opposite side now with Goad. He'll try the shot. Not sure if that made its way all the way to Hadley, but Hadley was ready for it if it did. Roanoke will get to try yet again. This will be their third attempt of this possession. They did get a reset on the shot clock partially, so now 41 seconds remain in that department. Swing back up top to Caldwell. Still guarded by Nestor. Now a good look from the wing. That one's just off the mark from Cameraman. Lynchburg defense likes the momentary stop there, but Whitlow now will have that single quarter hat trick here in the third. It is now just a 2-goal game. Roanoke has placed itself firmly back in this one, outscoring Lynchburg 3-1 in this third quarter. There's Whitlow this time coming off the assist of Julian Cameraman. And that trio of Roanoke offensive players now starting to see things a little bit more realistic in terms of trying to go on the road and pull off a really tough upset here on Shellenberger Field. They come out of the face-off with possession. We'll set things up again. Important to note, they got 4 shots on that last possession, so starting to stack those up a little more than they were able to in the first half. They'll go quickly here. Hadley, it looked like, was initially there to make the save, but the ball bounces up and over him and in towards the crossbar of the Lynchburg goal. And if I'm correct, this time will not be Whitlow. It'll be Quinn Evans. But the offense continues to find its footing here. Roanoke now taking an advantage in the shots department, 27-25, and they sit just 1 goal behind Lynchburg. 7 minutes to go in this third quarter. Another face-off won by Roanoke. Lynchburg took a pretty firm advantage kicking things off in the second half, but Roanoke's battled back. Now it's 10-8 in favor of Krause and Lynchburg in the circle. Whistles will blow down below. Coaches out on the field trying to gather what's going on. Got a player down for Roanoke. As team trainers attend to him, we will step aside, hopefully give you an update on the other side of this break. So take a look at what happened just before we took that break. It is number 12, Jay Fry there for Roanoke. Looks like just maybe got the wind knocked out of him, took a stick to the chest there. He is being helped off by the team trainer and a teammate. Hope everything is okay there with him. He has made his way to the sideline, and play will resume. And Roanoke looks to work quickly. They want to try and extend this run that has placed them just one goal behind the number 10 team in the country, trying to protect its home field. Here's going to be a caused turnover by Merendon and Lynchburg. Now they're going to work ahead and try to go quickly. Zacharias near midfield. Kind of in a tricky spot there, able to dodge his defender, looking off to the side. As Lynchburg will try to get its substitutions on. Mitchell will come in up top. Schmidt has the ball now as Voigt and Russ jog their way on to join Vandenberg, Schmidt, Hastings, and Mitchell. So starters back on the field now offensively for Lynchburg. Desperately looking for a goal here. They've only found one so far in the second half. Now 5:45 to go. Rust off to Schmidt. Schmidt tries to feed it in close there to Mitchell. Ball will never find its way there. Tracked down by Foyer. And Roanoke able to go again. Lynchburg defense still applying that steady pressure. Right now it's Merendon, the primary defender, on Luke Cameraman. Passes off to Luca Docking. Haven't called his name much today, though. He's another very important piece, this Roanoke offense, with 23 goals on the year. They'll go to Caldwell. Is not able to find anything against Jeremy Johnson. Now just 15 seconds left on the shot clock. It's one of the longer possessions of the evening for Roanoke. Lynchburg going to have a really good opportunity setting up here. Darminio, will he take it himself? He will. Off the bar. Nearly tracked down by Zacharias. Instead picked up by Whitlow. Play quickening here. Whitlow this time passes off. Again, 3 goals this quarter. Now it's Julian Cameraman. His shot, don't think that went the way he intended it to. But possession will stay with Roanoke. Potentially a golden opportunity there wasted by Lynchburg. As Chris Darminio scoops up the ground ball and emerges with nobody near him and a full head of steam, giving Lynchburg numbers on the offensive end. His shot's just off the mark. Can't fault him for taking it. Pretty good look there from Caldwell. Darminio was just a step late to the party, was not able to cut him off before he fires in a pure goal. And don't look now, but we are knotted up at 8 apiece between two teams tied atop the ODAC standings. believe the assist goes to a cameraman there. We head back for a very big face-off here. It is no longer Brooks Cliver in the circle for Roanoke. Believe that time it was Carson Peck. Possession will turn over now to Roanoke. Caldwell, a recent goal scorer, passes to Goad. And again, trying to go quickly. Roanoke style. This time it's from Goad. Goes a little high. Last 4 goals of this contest netted by Roanoke. And they scored back-to-back before that. It's just 1 goal from Jake Rust, his 3rd of the evening. It breaks up what otherwise would be a 6-0 Roanoke run. Caldwell tries to make it back-to-back in a 7-1 run. This time able to step up and scoop it up is Tyler Hadley, but he tosses that one out of bounds, unable to hook up with Henry Merendon there, top of the screen. Roanoke takes over. Luke Cameraman heading towards the goal. Takes a slight nudge in the back. He decides to pass off as a result. Now we'll get a stoppage to play. Hitting the ground there, I believe, is Cameraman. That is Cameraman down on the field there, top of your screen. Didn't see anything. He took a little nudge earlier in the play. Didn't see anything there at the end. We'll take another look at it here. Gets the chop there from Jeremy Johnson kind of to the quad area. Imagine that was a pretty big stinger. Again, it is pretty cold down on the field. Temperatures in the 30s here tonight in Lynchburg. So the team trainer will attend to him. Meanwhile, there's Wyatt Whitlow there in the box area. Trainer has stepped away there from Luke Cameraman. He looks like he's shaking it off, albeit a little slowly. Take a look there at a pretty solid crew. Dr. Jack M. Tom's track. Again, it is Easter weekend. After all that, play will resume with the Lynchburg offensive possession. Again, Hornets desperately need a goal here. In any way possible, Mitchell will get it for him. His 2nd of the day. And certainly the biggest goal yet for Lynchburg. That will end a 4-0 Roanoke run with that one and surge back ahead into the lead. Let's take another look. Mitchell gets a really clean look at it there. His defender just a step late. That was R.T. Williamson. Mitchell takes advantage, the senior. His 2nd goal of the game, 2nd multi-goal scorer for Lynchburg, joining Jake Rust, who has a hat trick. Lynchburg back up by 1. Less than 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. They'll look to stack another one. Lynchburg clears to Nestor, who gives it up to Riley Mitchell. Now Rust looks initially for a dodge, goes back up high to Mitchell. He's cut off, trying to cut towards the goal. His pass a little high for Grant Voigt, who will run towards the sideline to try and track that one down. unable to do so before Roanoke comes up and challenges him for it. That effort will award them possession. 70 seconds to go in the third. Roanoke using a big third quarter to place itself back in this contest. Pair of teams undefeated in ODAC play, 8-4 on the season. Lynchburg ranked 10th. Roanoke once again receiving votes in the USILA poll, first time since week 4. More methodical approach here on this possession from Roanoke. Julian Cameraman getting in close, trying to work the goal line. He's cut off there by Johnson. Chip Quinn also coming over with assistance. Now a race to be the closest to it. Officials say Roanoke does get there first. 22 on the shot clock. Shot clock turned off. Just 14 seconds left on the game clock. And it's a Lynchburg caused turnover. Less than 10 to go. They got to go fast. Ahead to Zacharias. He will clear with 4. It's going to be Zacharias. The shot bouncing and stopped by Foyer. That will take us to the end of the third quarter. And it is setting up to be a dramatic conclusion to this one. 2 minutes between the third and fourth quarter. That's how long we will wait before we get things underway. The final 15 minutes on top. Don't go anywhere. You're watching LHSN.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and rope course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
This is the dough. It's wicked cute. It's always so pretty.
Just one more quarter to determine who will rise to the top of the ODAC men's lacrosse standings come Easter morning. Lynchburg holds the slight advantage at 9-8. But make no mistake, that third quarter controlled by the visitors. Roanoke winning that period 5-2. At one point, they did knot things up at 8-8. Lynchburg has seen leads slip away this season. A couple that come to mind on this home field against nationally ranked opponents in Salisbury and last week against Christopher Newport. CNU scoring with 4, well, really just setting up an offensive possession with 4 seconds left in the game to send that one to overtime. Similar result in the Salisbury contest. Got a penalty marker down. Looked like Jeremy Johnson hit the turf there for Lynchburg. Seems to be all right. We'll wait a little bit to get the whistle from the official and see what that was about. Here's Mitchell working to his left. Pair of goals in the game for the All-American senior. Looks for his third there as he hits the turf. It's going to go wide, and we'll get to hear what that penalty marker is all about. Will go against Roanoke. It's going to be a 1-minute penalty here. Trying to take a look at it again. I'll assume it'll go against Julian Cameraman, and now he is taking a knee down in the box. So man-up opportunity for Lynchburg. consider it a golden opportunity for the Hornets as they'll try to distance themselves a little bit in the fourth quarter. Lynchburg trying to fire things up on the sideline during that brief break. Jake Rust, goal number 4, and that is a big one. Seems like every night out, it is a different guy for this Lynchburg offense. Tonight is Jake Rust's night. That is goal number 4, and he is fired up about it. Lynchburg into double figures and back ahead by 2. Michael Kraus is going to come out of the faceoff circle initially with the ball, scooped up Darminio. Lynchburg looking to set up quickly. Hastings thought about a shot, thought again, took it, and it is off the pole of Foyer. At last, Jake Rust's goal erupted this facility in applause. Lynchburg trying to get back on top on their home field. So here's Lynchburg. Top there, Russ swings over to Mitchell. Mitchell with some speed, rips one, got it! Yes, sir, Riley Mitchell. He is the second Hornet with a hat trick today, and back-to-back goals have the Lynchburg sideline buzzing. Take a look at it again. Mitchell's got one of the hottest sticks in the country, and when he decides to fire one in, you do not want to be in the way of it. That one puts Lynchburg back ahead by 3 in a fourth quarter that they have made their own so far. Only 2 minutes gone by, but Lynchburg has given itself a little bit of a buffer. Hornets have already seen 3 overtime games this year, 1 and 2 in such contests, and have to imagine they'd like to avoid that if at all possible. So here we go now. Goad trying to find some space offensively. He will take the shot. He will bury it. Roanoke's not going anywhere. And we've got a classic starting to unfold below. Take a look at it again. Goad staying patient here on this possession. And as soon as he feels like he has a little bit of space working to his right, he goes ahead and fires that shot. And the timing was perfect. He sneaks it past Hadley. Goad's got his second goal of the game. Back to the face-off circle we go. It is Brooks Cliver back in there for Roanoke, and he'll award possession over to the Maroons. I believe Roanoke may have heard me at the half. I said they have only failed to reach 10 goals once this year. Now 12 minutes to go. They are dangerously close to making it 12 times in 13 games. Shot lines up. This one will go wide to the right. Darminio the closest to it. He'll fire on ahead to Johnson. Johnson clears it for Lynchburg, passes off to McCarthy. McCarthy looks around for teammates, feeds off to Moore. Moore runs away from one Roanoke defender right into another one. Now supplies a screen. It's largely ineffective, far from the goal. Gives another one and takes a bump there. Penalties going to go against somebody for Lynchburg. Turn the ball back over to the Maroons. Maybe something with that screen, so could go against Moore. Nobody's going to have to take a timeout from it, but getting to the point in this game where every possession is extremely crucial. Lynchburg 8-1 on the year when they go into the halftime break with a lead. My memory serves me correctly, Salisbury is the 1. Roanoke's trying to make it 2. Here's a shot, another one from Whitlow. He wants to hear it from the Roanoke sideline. Whitlow, all of his goals coming in the second half as he is following up a 6-goal performance with a great one on the road here tonight. The deficit once again just 1. Back-to-back goals for Roanoke from Goad and Whitlow. This time possession will go to Lynchburg. Mentioned that Lynchburg's 8-1 when leading at the half. Roanoke yet to win a game that they trailed at the half. Ball finds its way out of Riley Mitchell's stick, scooped up Roanoke. Long pass ahead will connect. Here Roanoke will set up. Less than 10 minutes to go in this contest as Goad will set the offense into motion. 57 seconds on the shot clock. Passes off to Julian Cameraman. Cameraman's pass to Caldwell too high. Chip Quinn shielding with his body and takes over possession for Lynchburg. Long feet ahead. He's able to connect. And Lynchburg will set up quickly offensively. It's Luke Brookman on the receiving end, and Lynchburg is able to find another goal with 9:04 to go in the fourth. Goal will be credited to Finn Schmidt. Another one for number 27. It once again provides a little bit of distance for Lynchburg, who will go back up by 2 and end the mini run from Roanoke. That was a pair of unanswered goals. Kraus wins the faceoff, feeds back to Hadley. Dangerous pass there. Narrowly gets over the tip of the Roanoke defender. Now will be a turnover. Darminio could not hold on to it. Now Whitlow with it. He'll feed ahead. Luke Cameraman. Still relatively quiet day for him, but he's gotten on the board, couple of assists. That pass too long, and it will be taken by Lynchburg. Now with possession and a 2-goal lead, 8:30 to play. Johnson, long feet ahead to Voigt. To Zacharias. Now it's Voigt with it by the logo. Voigt had a little bit of space on his defender, never got a clean look at the goal, so he now tries again from behind. Now it's Russ going for the scoop shot, no good. He's looking for his 5th goal of the game there. Voigt puts it in play and swings over to Hastings. Each of them working from behind the goal. Hastings looking for an inch, hasn't found it yet. He will have to pass out. Back up top to Schmidt, the last goal scorer for Lynchburg. Now it's with Mitchell. He runs into a double team. Nowhere to go. Back to Schmidt. He works off the Mitchell screen to his left. Never gets freed up. Mitchell starts over, goes to Russ. Great play in between the goal there from Foyer. Spinning out there with the ball. It stays with Lynchburg and Vandenberg, and they will get a reset of the shot clock. So with a 2-goal lead, they can make a little bit more time run off. Here's Rust. He's got goal number 5. Have yourself a day, Jake Rust. That goal's got Dylan Wolf doing all kinds of celebrations over on the sideline for Lynchburg. Again, goal number 5 from Russ. This one unassisted. He just runs right up the middle, slightly to the right. Takes the advantage on his defender and fires it in. Middle of that Roanoke defense opened up. That one initially controlled there by Roanoke. It's a little push in the back. I think that came from Darminio. It's going to send Cliver to the turf. So he'll jog back to the sideline. Holding his shoulder, he'll be looked at by the Roanoke athletic trainer. Meanwhile, Maroons take over on offense. It's cameraman to cameraman with Julian working behind the goal. He's guarded by Johnson, fakes him out. So it's Luke Cameraman up top. He passes off to Anthony Muniz. It's going to be a stop, though, for Lynchburg. Another save for Tyler Hadley, but he tosses it away. Ball will be awarded right back to Roanoke. Roanoke now trailing by 3 with just 6 minutes to play. Every possession got to be treated with extreme care, but also with intentionality and efficiency. They got to work quickly. Whitlow has had the hot stick, but will anybody else step up here for Roanoke? Luke Cameraman gets the pass out. Close shot. Will not find the back of the net. Reset for Cameraman. Second try will also be saved by Hadley. He feeds it ahead. That one is well ahead of Zacharias, but he'll scoop it up in the offensive half of the field for Lynchburg. Pass off to Hastings. Hastings rips. No good. That shot off wide right from Riley Hastings. Scooped up by Schmidt. Lynchburg with 64 on the shot clock has plenty of time they'd like to run off. Five minutes remaining in the game. Voigt with the ball. Ball comes to Russ. He's looking for an angle in goal number 6. Won't find it. That shot off a little low and to the left. Russ has gone to that more of a scooping shot a lot tonight. Found great success with it. Voigt trying the wrap on the second shot attempt. That'll be sailing high and to the right. Here comes attempt number 3. Vandenberg, quiet night for him. Mentioned the streak coming in. And that shot's off the mark as well. Now 18 seconds left on the shot clock for Lynchburg. They've run a lot of time off, but still want to try to find a goal if possible. Now with 11 seconds to go, it's Hastings working one-on-one. Tries the spin, runs into a double team. Nothing's opened up with 5. He passes out, shot! It's going to be number 6 for Jake Rust. He is on fire. Seems to be at the right place at the right time every time. Jake Rust takes the late in the shot clock assist there from Hastings and cashes in right at the L in the net. Earns a Roanoke timeout, and we will step aside and take it with them. 4:11 to go in this one. Lynchburg leads it 14-10.
Every great college has a great city. For Lynchburg, we are near urban areas with lots of restaurants, shopping, and events. Plus, we are one of the top schools in the area. Come see for yourself.
Back in the face-off circle, one that Roanoke, not only would they like to win, they at this point pretty much need to win. 4:11 to go, trailing Lynchburg by 4 as the hopes of upsetting Division III's number 10 squad slowly fading away. That is thanks in large part for Lynchburg to Jake Rust. 6 goals on the day has him taking over the team lead in goals on the year with 25 and counting. Riley Mitchell, who he was tied with coming into today, he's had himself a pretty solid night as well. 3 goals for the senior. Takes his season total to 22, though I'm not sure he will catch his teammate tonight. No need to hurry now for Lynchburg. 3:20 to go in the game, nursing that 4-goal lead. It's the defense once again in this fourth quarter stepping up, really making Roanoke work for it. They have come away with 2 goals, but for the most part, it's been all Lynchburg here in the final stanza. Lynchburg, if they're able to hold on in this one, seeking their 14th straight win over ODAC opponents, would also move them to 5-0 in conference play. And they would take over the top spot in the conference. Would own wins over Roanoke and Washington and Lee. Still a really big matchup with Hampton-Sydney coming up April 29th. That'll be the home and regular season finale for Lynchburg. Hampton-Sydney, another team receiving votes in this week's USILA poll. Roanoke not saying die yet. They'll put a shot on goal there that Hadley comes out and eventually tracks down. Chip Quinn currently manning the goal as Hadley got sidetracked along that far goal line. So here's Roanoke, 2 minutes to go. They got to work extremely quickly. Haven't had trouble doing that today, but most of their quality attempts on goal have come when they've been able to take a little more time. That quick shot will not find the net. Lynchburg comes up with another save, and now with 1:41, they can use the shot clock to run most of this game clock down. So we'll get whistles, and the Lynchburg bench area will clear a little bit onto the field. Possession will be handed over to Roanoke. So scratch that last point. So Roanoke again will try to set up offensively. Have to commend the fight from Coach Pilot's squad here tonight. They come on the road, faced a 7-2 deficit at one point, battled back to tie it at 8 apiece. Have kept things interesting for most of the fourth quarter, but Jake Rust and the Lynchburg offense have taken over here in the latter stages. Now all that's left to do is just not give up a monumental collapse if you're the Lynchburg defense. We are under a minute to go in this game. Before we get to the end of this one, we will get one more timeout called by Lynchburg. We'll go ahead and stay here for the final 57 seconds of action. For Roanoke, they came to Lynchburg, Virginia tonight hoping to end what is currently a 5-game win streak in the series belonging to Lynchburg. I mentioned that Roanoke does hold the all-time series lead at 36-19. Interesting to note, the series dead even at 19 apiece since Coach Steve Kadelka took over at Lynchburg back in 1997. He looks as though he will be able to make it win number 20 against the Maroons. Roanoke, the only team to defeat a Coach K-led Hornet squad 19 times. It's just them in Washington and Lee. It looks like Lynchburg's going to pick up wins over both in the regular season. Luke Kammerman here will feed off. Shot will score there from Whitlow. He has had one heck of a day for the Roanoke offense. Their leading scorer adding more than a few tallies to his season total. He's up to 5 goals in the game. Notably, it is Luke Kammerman still absent from the goal scoring column. Does have a couple of assists. More than a couple, correct that. He's got 4 in the game, most recently on that last score. Penalties will fly out of the face-off circle. 45 seconds remaining in this one as Lynchburg just tries to clean things up. Pick up win number 9 on the season, number 5 in conference play. Penalty again, that will go against Roanoke. Earns a stint in the box for number 10, Sean Kennedy. Looks like we'll get another timeout now in the waning moments of this game, this time from Roanoke. Again, just 45 seconds left to play. Take this opportunity to preview what the remaining slates look like for each of these two teams as the calendar has flipped over to April. The postseason starts to creep upon us. Again, Lynchburg, after this one, they will travel to Randolph-Macon next Saturday. And it'll be a home contest against Virginia Wesleyan. Back on the road for Guilford. And as I mentioned earlier, they will round out the year with that home battle with Hampton-Sydney. Boy, did those two teams give us a very entertaining matchup in the regular season finale last year. And then it'll also be a rematch of the 2022 ODAC championship game. On the Roanoke side, they will go back home to Kerr Stadium where they will face off against Ferrum. Then it'll be trip to Bridgewater on April 15th, next Saturday. And they'll round out the year with a brutal slate at home against currently number 11 Washington and Lee. And then they will welcome in Hampton-Sydney for their season finale as well. It'll be a week before Lynchburg gets the Tigers. It's Riley Mitchell now, less than 45 seconds to go as Lynchburg will try to close the book here on this win. Makes his defender fall, draws some cheers from the Lynchburg sideline. With the shot clock off, Lynchburg can run things all the way down here. It's Vandenberg with it now. Again, he's held scoreless throughout the entire game, but I'm sure he will be more than happy with the team win. Penalty flag will fly there. It was Vandenberg making a move towards the goal. Quick penalty. It's just 8 seconds remaining now in the game. Lynchburg retains possession, and they will just run this one out. Finn Schmidt will hold it when the final horn sounds, and Lynchburg extends back to a 2-game winning streak. They extend their streak in the series with Roanoke, and they have win number 9 on the season as they approach what is unofficially the stretch of what has been a brutal regular season slate, one of the toughest strength of schedules in the country. And this Roanoke team, again, mentioned their receiving votes, just one in a long line of tough opponents in a very, very solid ODAC conference. But as we reflect back on this one, again, Lynchburg saw things get knotted up at 8 before they used the fourth quarter to pull away and eventually come out with the victory at 14-11. Jake Rust, your leading goal scorer with 6 tallies on the night. Once again, Lynchburg next at home will be against Virginia Wesleyan on April 22nd. And until then, take care. I am Sam Graham, and we'll see you next time.